Everyone loves the idea of £1,000 a month in dividends. It sounds passive, it sounds easy, and we'd all like it. And it does sound like financial freedom, but this is why it's important to have a plan to do this when you get a lot older, because no one actually tells you how much money you need. If you watch my channel, you'll know I focus on dividends, but I do have something that is the core mechanic element of growth in my portfolio. You may have already guessed, it's sitting behind you. So in today's video, we're going to go through the no hype, the no nonsense, the real nitty gritty of how you should look at doing it for the longer term, because I think dividends is by far the best way when you're older to do this. So what I'm aiming to hopefully show you is how much you need for certain parameters. Yes, it's speculative, but we can use some obvious numbers. And hopefully we can get this in the long term because the funds will allow us to do that. Now, before we get into it, the world of dividends is not get rich quick, by the way. Yes, you can showcase a compound effect and it does work. It just takes a lot of time, which is, as I say, why people focus on growth first, which makes sense. And dividend investing does work because it's slower. Their capital is real tangible things from profit share, which makes sense. It rewards patience. There's no shortcut. The less time you're fiddling with your portfolio and just automate it and put it into top quality stocks or top quality funds that pay dividends, you'd probably be rewarded with that. But one rule for this video, and it's very, very simple. We're using realistic numbers here, not fancy yields, because it's important to kind of keep it as realistic as possible. If you like this sort of stuff, by the way, please do leave a like and comment if you like dividend stocks, and subscribe if you want more of this sort of stuff. Now, for simplicity and obvious situation here, we're going to go with the most popular fund here. And a lot of the UK investors own this one. It's a physical fund. It works. It's been around for a while. It's the Vanguard FTSE All World Dividend Yield. It's a global, diversified, boring way of saying I've got mainly everything with a decent yield. The yield does fluctuate. It's quite low at the minute, but it probably will go back up again. But for easy situations, we're going to use an average of 4% because it's always good to have a couple of individual stocks in there as well. The reason why I talk about this with the world of dividends is because they are a lot better in terms of managing volatility. That is a huge thing because I think it's that mindset. It's when you're in a dividend stock, you know that people are not going to, crap themselves if something goes wrong, which is quite good. Not always the case when it comes to growth stocks, but that is a different kind of mechanic, really. So let's start small here. £100 a month in dividends is £1,200 per year. That's quite obvious. If your portfolio yield is 4%, here's the maths. You need roughly £30,000 invested to get that number. This is where I think people get their biggest shock, realistically. You need £30,000 to get a very simplistic £100 a month. Because let's be honest here, £100 a month doesn't sound like much. Because obviously the capital is pretty big. And this is why we often talk about dividend investing as slow. It's boring. But when you get over a certain threshold or a certain yield or a certain compound effect of that reinvestment of dividends, it does start to speed up. Now, £500 a month, let's scale it up a little bit, is £6,000 per year. It's not bad, really. Same fund, same yield, obviously. Now, 6,000 divided by 4 is £150,000 invested. This is where people get either serious or they completely give up, realistically, because it takes a good number of years to get to that point. And because it doesn't really reward excitement, it rewards consistency. But one thing that people forget here, if you're in a stocks and shares ISA, by the way, you've got an extra £6,000 on top of your allowance to play with as profit, which can be reinvested. This is where you will start to see it kind of go up and up a bit more. But as I say, with dividend investing, people tend to quit before they even get to this point. And that's just a historic kind of fact here, by the way. Not just, I've obviously not done it myself, but you can see the idea. Now, £1,000 a month is ridiculous because it's the biggie. Now it's £12,000 per year. At roughly 4% yield, again, with the assumption it requires roughly £300,000, which is a lot. And this is the part that, realistically I don't want to show you because there's no leverage, there's no secret shock, it's just maths. And this is why people think dividend investing is boring, because realistically the truth is boring. But this is why realistically you've got to persevere with it. And throughout this video, I'm going to showcase why people choose, growth first, why it should be at the end, because me talking about that kind of simulation is very, very easy. I can talk about it very, very easily. But the reality is, as I say, people quit. People get bored. People fall onto the hype train and start get distracted and go that way, for example, and buy Nvidia at the top, for example, as I say. So try not to get too caught up with it. But what I will say is this: leverage compounding, it's important. Don't be, top and bottom into it completely. If you want to be, fair enough. But you got to think, you've got to live your life. You've got to understand that compounding, you can't disrupt it. You've got to understand that you have your risk parameters around you all perfect. You've got yourself your house sorted, your kids are all kind of good and all that kind of good stuff. Because with this, it is a way of life. You can't just stop and just go, I'm going to quit tomorrow, because it doesn't work like that. So on the screen here is a very, very simplistic portfolio. Nothing crazy. It's just why people choose growth first. And this is a simulation of a very, very blandish dividend portfolio. And the point is, as I say, growth is always key. Now, obviously, behind me, as you know, if you've been paying attention or if you've been watching my videos, I've been in Bitcoin for a long time, 2016. And that is my growth element. That's my fast ticket, really. And everything else around that is kind of stemmed from the growth of that into diversification, into dividend stocks as I grow my portfolio. You've probably already seen my portfolio before. But yeah, this is exactly why people choose growth, because it grows faster, it compounds faster, dividends feel insufficient, and volatility feels a little bit more exciting. It gives you a bit of a buzz, which is good. Obviously, growth builds the engine, and dividends will eventually pay you the wages or the salary when you get older. But growth comes with more risk, obviously, more emotion, more bad decisions if you're not careful. So let me just showcase a random growth portfolio just to give you a bit of a tease. Now on the screen is a random growth portfolio set back in time. Someone invested in the Nasdaq, someone invested in Microsoft and the S&P 500. Obviously random numbers, but it just gives you a bit of an idea that even with the profit there, it's ridiculous. You're going to get zero passive income pretty much, hardly anything. And yeah, you're going to have absolute crazy volatility throughout that time period. Obviously, you got lucky with the Nasdaq over the course of time since 2012, pretty much. But what the idea is, and the reality is here, you will have a thing that is done, baked, cooked. And I know these results are ridiculous, even though I said I'm not going to use fantasy, but this is what potentially 20 years could be if you invest in the right stocks. But as I say, they are very, very unlikely. But in terms of simulation purposes, in 20 years, you could have, with good risk management, with a good fund, say, for example, the Nasdaq or a emerging market or even the S&P, you could have roughly 500,000, maybe 400,000 pounds in your portfolio through consistency, through investing £1,000 a month or £500 a month or £350 a month, for example, right? Because there is a little phenomenon that we need to talk about, which people often forget. Now, in the world of growth stocks, you do not get this much. You do see it there, 6.7% yield on cost. Yield on cost is hugely important when it comes to dividend investing, and this is what's important here. If you are doing it for a long time with dividends, especially if you're in a fund where it is literally dividend focused or growth dividend stocks. Now, one thing that I think that is important, and I think people do forget, and as much as people love to go for the growth, you are trying to beat inflation as much as you can. With yield, you kind of do anyways, on basis of the fact that you're getting paid, which is a huge important factor on top of your returns, which is important. This is why I think dividend investing gets very, very interesting, because yield today isn't what matters. Yield on cost is. Let's just say here on the screen, that fantasy portfolio of growth, your yield on cost is actually 6.78% because of the growth of the underlying asset of, say, Microsoft there. Microsoft, over the course of that time, has had a dividend and it is growing slowly, very, very slowly. You don't really notice it, but it's growing. So what you invested back in 2012 is worth a hell of a lot more in terms of yield on cost, which is important. So over 15, 20 years, for example, as dividends grow and compound, your yield on your original money can climb to 6, 8, or even more than that in terms of digits, which is why you can imagine Warren Buffett got pretty rich. You're not buying today, like for today's income, so to speak. You're buying for the future income, which is obviously dictated by earnings, dividend potential, shareholder shares. And that growing dividend is a really good thing to look for. However, when you put your £446,000 or whatever into a purpose-built dividend UK fund, which is probably one of the best things you could do, realistically, not financial advice, of course, you'd better off doing it in one fund than millions, you're going to get paid. The volatility is a lot less because it's obviously a fund. And this is the thing, people make the biggest mistake very, very early by chasing the income. They want that £500 per month before they built the capital. They're looking for the high yield dividend stocks. They're looking for the over concentration. They're looking for the stress before the dividend gets cut and all that kind of stuff, because it is very, very cyclical as well if you're picking the wrong ones. Dividend investing isn't about replacing your income overnight. It really isn't. It's about removing financial pressure from your life over the course of time. So on the screen, as you can see, yeah, great, £22,000 a year, that's amazing. In a pot like this, yeah, that pot could go up and down, but you're still going to get paid realistically. It's still a fund of 100 plus things. And if you did this earlier, which I will showcase, your yield on cost may well be different. But as you can see, £1,874 per month, that could be a nice little retirement nest egg, depending on what it is. But ultimately, the whole point is you go from growth into dividends. Now, for realistic performance, I've put it in and around where this low is, just to kind of showcase something, because this is going to be very interesting. Because when you look at the world of this dividend fund, it's a bit crazy. It doesn't move much. It has from the crash up here, but over the course of time, it doesn't do much. It doesn't kill or destroy portfolios, which is quite good. Obviously, there has been a bit of a one here during COVID, but it actually kind of returned and doing really well right now. So this is an important note, but watch this. What's scary is if you did this 2 years ago, realistically, just to give you an idea, your portfolio would be up 50% on top of what you already had, which is crazy. But look at the passive income. The passive income will have an amazing yield on cost because you've only invested 300,000 at this point, and now it's 446, which is crazy. And your dividend yield will be 7.59%. That is just mind-boggling. And you don't have to invest again. You've already, you could live off this. And what's crazy about this sort of vibe, you're not going to get paid every single month. You're going to get paid quarterly. And because it's in a fund, it'll be a different amount. And as you can see, it gets a bit barbaric in June. It's a bit crazy, isn't it? So now that I've set the goalpost in terms of what you need to think about for your dividend goals, it's all about starting realistically. You've got to start somewhere. And it's not a bad thing to have a pot for, say, a dividend fund, because it will grow its yield over time if you are looking. And they're actually a lot safer realistically in terms of volatility. They're a lot lower than your normal funds. So instead of thinking of, say, £1,000 a month, aim for 25, aim for 50, aim for 100. Reinvest everything within that fund. Let time do the work, because realistically, you've got to have time. Be in growth. And as I said before in previous videos, have a growth portfolio. If that starts to go a bit crazy in terms of balance, rebalance it and put some of the money and profit into that fund. Cool, easy. Because over time, profit is king. And if you can keep that profit and roll it into something a bit more stable, it will start to roll. But as I say, this is how I am managing my own portfolio, my own ISA. Tell you what, I'll put it on the screen just to showcase it. So this is my portfolio. Decent little chunk of money there laying around, coming in every single, year. I'm very, very happy with that. There's no flashy yields here. I'm not trying to be clever, but I'm building something that's boring, steady, and repeatable, because boring does work, unfortunately, for some. And the goal isn't, as I say, income today. It's about what it could be in the long term, because profit from, growth of Bitcoin, technically, the higher that goes, the less I can sell, and then I can diversify into this fund. Income can go into this fund very, very easily, and it will just grow over time. I'm only 34. By the time I'm probably 50, it will be a decent chunk, and I'm done. That's it. I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about getting tax on it or anything like that, which is important here within a stocks and shares ISA. And still, this portfolio has gained me some nice little profits here. It's doing all right. But yeah, everyone's different, I know. If you're interested in this tool, by the way, there's a free trial. There's a link below. It's brilliant. It's called Snowball. It'll give you a lot of data analytics. I use it in every video, so everyone asks me about it. So there you go. And if this video did help you understand dividends in a little bit of an easier way, hit the like button and obviously subscribe to the channel. But what I will say is this: don't get disheartened. Time is the biggest factor of why investors win. Don't chase the hype. Have a plan, go with growth, but don't get too clever with it, because there's a good chance you'll lose. And I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget, by the way, watch this video here. It'll help you a lot. It's my portfolio and what I've done recently.